This is an example of a confidence interval for two independent averages. It's a conceptual problem, but I still wanted to take a quick look at it. There is a 95% confidence interval, and they did this for group 1 minus group 2. So average for 1 minus the average for 2. And they got an interval of negative 4.5 to 8.3. So in this, there's no statistical evidence of a difference between the two groups, but one group might have had a slightly larger sample size. The first part here is asking, what is the mean difference between the groups? The mean difference is going to be somewhere between negative 4.5 and 8.3. And if I want to find the mean, or sort of the center of this thing, I could just add these two numbers together, negative 4.5 and 8.3, and divided by 2. I'm averaging out those two endpoints to find the center. And I'll use parentheses, negative 4.5, 8.3, divided by 2, gives me a difference of 1.9. Now I'm noticing for that mean difference of 1.9, that is a positive number. So since my difference for mu1 minus mu2 is this positive number, just interpreting this value here, this gives me some evidence that my first average is larger than the second average. But this is just for that single point estimate. So this is based off the center. I would say overall, the results are inconclusive because 0 is in our interval. Let's take a look at C. What is the 95% confidence interval for the difference of means if we reverse the subtraction order? Okay, so if I do 5 minus 3, I'm just doing some subtraction in my calculator, I get 2. If I do 3 minus 5, I get negative 2. When you switch the order of subtraction, the signs of your results change. So for part C, if I'm looking at a 95% confidence interval for mu2 minus mu1 in the opposite order, this positive 8.3 is going to get flopped over to a negative 8.3. This negative 4.5 is going to switch and become a positive 4.5. When you switch the order, you're going to have to switch the signs. So when you're creating these confidence intervals, you can really decide how you want to set them up. You just have to be really conscious about what's going on with the signs of your results. So the mean difference was 1.9. Which group had a larger mean? I would say group neither. The groups could be equal, although you could say group 1 because the difference of means is positive if you're looking at just that sample and not an overall statement. And when you switch the order of subtraction, I get negative 8.3 and positive 4.5. If it asks me about the results overall, I do think it's better to say the results are inconclusive, based strictly off the center, which is what they're doing here for part B. My sample for 1 is bigger than my sample for 2. I hope that helps for this question. As always, I'm around if you have questions.